Hello everyone, welcome to our show, The Film Digest, with your hosts, Henry Gonzalez
and Michael Vila.
Today we'll be talking about big news in Hollywood, movies that are coming out, and what to watch for the weekend.
So without further ado, let's start the show. So I think we should start off with Halloween movies, since the Halloween season.
Right, no, it's been that big trend this year, especially with the horror genre and particularly indie horror films. Like the one that came out just a couple weekends ago, Terrifier 3. It's been hitting a lot of controversial points across Hollywood, and in particular, it's been hailed as one of the most gory, violent films ever made. But it's also doing a great job at raking in a lot of money from the box office, particularly because it's so low budget. There's been times like that over the last couple of years, and it's happened at least a few times this year, especially with another horror film that a lot of people have recognized as one of the best of our decade so far. That would be, what was it called? Longlegs. Oz Perkins did a great job with that film, and this film with an incredible cast and a seasoned director. We've seen a lot of films like this and a lot of horror films, reviving the industry, and we're seeing a lot of that happening as we approach Halloween. What else would you recommend about from the horror genre?
Right, so something I want to talk about indie horror, just to go into that more, is I think to go off of Terrifier 3, I think Art the Clown has become one of the greats with Terrifier 3.
It's been a cultural icon.
Exactly, one of the big horror characters now, joining Scarface and all the 80s horror film characters. So I think
it's been a great run. And with such a fresh take on the slasher genre, and all these horror films coming out this year, it's been a breath of fresh air, especially as we're approaching Halloween season. So I think we have to start off by recommending go out to watch those indie horror films that have made such a big impact on the film industry this year. But we cannot go on without the show without discussing the September slate. We've seen a lot of blockbusters coming out this year, and a lot of them came from September. Now, doesn't match up to the big, blockbuster stream that came out from the summer.
Right.
But September has been pretty successful with big films like The Wild Robot and Transformers 1, making a huge impact in the film industry and raking in a lot of money from the box office.
We can't go without talking about the big movies that were actually very disappointing. Joker 2, which was a very highly anticipated film.
We all expected, there was some big hits that we expected to be huge, and then that ended up being...
Yeah, Joker 2, which was the following, one of the biggest, I think it was the biggest rated R film at the time. It's been passed by Deadpool.
The rated R superhero
now.
film, probably one of the highest trending films in the R-rated industry so far, and its sequel.
It was a bust.
Yeah.
And Megalopolis, which it was directed by the director of the Godfather,
right.
And he funded it with his own wallet. It wasn't even by the studio. It was largely by himself.
I think it was around like 120 million.
Right, exactly.
Crazy.
And it was a personal project, so he wanted to do it because he wanted to see his vision come to life, and it's been in the back pocket of his portfolio for a while. And when he finally got the investment to do the film, it was a complete and utter flop. It has tanked every box office, and reviews are heavily mixed, just like Joker 2. Joker 2, with Lady Gaga, which was heavily anticipated.
Right.
And the first movie had reached over $1 billion, super widely successful, was a complete flop, and audiences did not like Joker 2.
Well, needless to say, that shouldn't necessarily disencourage anyone from watching more superhero films, as this Friday, what's coming out is Venom 3, another highly anticipated superhero film that's bound to make a lot of money.
For Sony.
Exactly.
Right.
For the film industry as it's coming out this weekend. So, with that being in mind, I think it's another good thing that we recommend you guys watch, that we watch the other Venom films as we go into watch this new threequel.
The other of the trilogy, right?
Right, and to also give a chance to the movies that don't necessarily make a big a big impact now, but might end up being very successful in the future. Give Megalopolis a watch, give Joker 2 a watch. Let everyone know what you think of it, because that's the whole point of watching films. And of course, we can't go on without saying at least one thing about some big cultural icons that have died in the last few months, including James Earl Jones. I wanted to touch on that right before we would segue out of the show, but you know, there's been a lot of industry stars that have been fading in and out of relevance, including Francis Ford Coppola, who made Megalopolis, and of course James Earl Jones, who sadly passed away.
Right.
Right.
It's a tragedy, but you know, that's how the story goes. So.
Yep. So I think that's a good way to leave off this episode. What we recommend you watch for the weekend are the new films coming out this weekend, with Venom 3 and the horror movie trend still continuing into Halloween season. So make sure that when you go trick-or-treating, you also hit the theaters on your way. So my name was Henry Gonzalez.
And my name was Michael Vila. Thanks for watching.
Have a good one.